Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about always go with your gut. So you may have heard the phrase, go with your gut, go with your instincts, right? And this video I'm going to talk to you about how that works and why it's important for your relationships. So I want you to think back to a time where you had a strong gut feeling about something and maybe you didn't listen to it. And then that thing that you thought actually turned out to be true. Well, the interesting thing is that can actually tell you a lot about your childhood. Now, it's going to also help you in your dating life and your romantic relationships. Why? Let me explain. So, the primary need for an infant is safety. Obviously, the will to live, to survive. And the primary way that an infant survives is their caregivers and connecting to their caregivers. This is important. They connect to their caregivers. So, the last thing that an infant or a child wants to do is disrupt any connection, any of the bond with their caregivers, okay? They don't want to rupture connection to their caregivers because it would mean death, okay? If you do something so upsetting to your caregivers that they are not bonded with you, they leave you on the side of the road, you're going to die, okay? What does this have to do with dating? You're going to see. So interesting once you hear about this. So, what happens is, if we have an insecure attachment style, if we grew up in a home where we were constantly anxious about our needs not being met, us being abandoned, and us feeling that anxiety, the separation anxiety, what we start to do unconsciously is suppress our needs, right? I talked a little bit about this in the video I did yesterday, but there's more to it. What we do is we suppress our needs because we don't want to upset our caregivers, but we also begin to suppress who we are more and more as time goes on. We begin to suppress our feelings, our desires, our authenticity, and our gut feelings. So, I'm going to give you a really good example of this in an email that I have here from Rebecca. She says, "Hi Craig, I wanted to thank you so much for your incredibly insightful videos. I have been watching every breakup personality on YouTube that I could find. You're not only 1,000 times more insightful, but you're kind on the eyes." Thank you, Rebecca. After I got hooked on your channel, I couldn't stomach to watch anyone else. After listening to your videos, I can see that you actually understand what you're explaining. When I realized you actually have your master's in counseling, I knew you were the only one I could trust. Well, thank you for such kind words. I do put a lot of time and effort into these videos for you guys, and obviously you guys that are doing coaching with me, you can see, you know, what impact I'm having for you personally, and I absolutely love what I do. So you'll see that once you sign up with me in the coaching, especially if we do a Skype, an hour together, you're going to absolutely love the time that we have together. So she goes on to say, "I have started to realize how bad my anxiety is. I had never really understood it before I found your channel. I have been dating a guy for almost a year. I kept thinking he was cheating. He would say and do little things all the time. I kept ignoring the warning signs." See, just like I talked about earlier, you grow up in an environment where you are constantly suppressing your needs, your desires, your authenticity, you begin to doubt your own feelings, your own thoughts, and your own feelings, because you literally will get feelings in your gut, right? So, she said, I kept ignoring the warning signs. I confronted him several times and he'd always deny it and tell me that now I'm the only one. But something kept me from fully believing him. This past week, I got a text message conversation from 3 different women who apparently he has been sleeping with. They had all found out about each other because they lived in the same apartment complex. Great guy. They wanted to warn me too. He was having unprotected sex with all of us. We all thought he was being exclusive with us. I am crushed and I feel like such a fool. How did I not see this? Alright, she's got a little bit more here. Now that I broke up with him, I could see the red flags. I was hoping you could share your thoughts before our Skype coaching this week. Alright, so, why did she overlook these red flags? Why do so many of us do it? Well, she had a lot of anxiety. And so, she was constantly feeling this abandonment from her caregivers. Now, here are 2 ways that stress can affect you. This is really interesting. The first way is that we don't perceive a threat when it's there, because we have suppressed our ability to trust ourselves and our gut. So that's what she's doing, right? She doesn't perceive the threat even though it's there. She keeps denying her own feelings that something is wrong. Now, here's another way that we can handle stress like that. We become hyper-vigilant that there is a threat when there isn't any. So, what can happen is we were, /are, so used to a threat being there that now we don't see it. And this is often why people stay in abusive relationships. Interesting, isn't it? So, you can see a few different ways that the stress affects us. And here's another interesting fact. Well, maybe not fact, but way of looking at it. The degree to which you suppress yourself is equivalent to the degree that you suppressed your childhood needs. So the degree that you're suppressing your gut and your instincts now is equivalent to how you did it in your childhood. So if you grew up in a childhood where you didn't feel safe, where you had a lot of anxiety, you stopped listening to your gut. So what do you have to do? You have to start listening to your instincts. Your gut receives messages from the brain, and then it magnifies them and sends them back to the brain as a signal to warn you. Okay? I'm not a medical doctor, but that did come from a medical doctor. Okay? So, here's another interesting thing. Apparently, we have something similar in our heart, where the heart has its own nervous system that has predictive capabilities, especially when it comes to negative things. So, you know when people say to you things like, I felt it in my heart? They really did. So, something for you guys to think about. Wanted to share that with you guys. If you want to get my help personally, go to my website, askcraig.net. Right in the center of the page, it says schedule coaching. You can schedule email coaching with me or Skype coaching, whatever works best for you. If you liked this video and you found it interesting, just put a like on there and leave your comments below. And remember to subscribe to the channel because I post videos Monday through Friday. But that's it for this video. I'm Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon.